It is beard time. He's got his beard going. I think you're trying, but it's failing. So we're going to talk about some hockey now. Let's talk
more hair than I can.
Let's talk about the Pens. They're up 2-1 in the series against the Sens. Lost game 1, but have won 2 straight games. I'm going to go over to you, Mr. Bursick, since you're not here that often. I know the jury is out, and you are up first. Don't know what that means, but can the Penguins? I don't know. Can the Penguins win 2 straight and finish off the season quickly?
Can they win 2 straight? Yeah, I think they can definitely win 2 straight, Josh. I think the Pens have a ton of momentum after the win in Ottawa, and to be perfectly honest with you, I don't think the Senators have any reason to win this series. I think that they're a great team, and I love playing them in the first round because they're going to give the Penguins a test, and they have been giving the Penguins a test. But I think that this is really just. And I don't want to sound like pompous, like the Pens are the best team in the NHL, but I think that this is really just a nice warm-up for the Penguins, if you will. I think that the Senators, like I said, great team, very, very talented, but I think they have no business beating the Pens, and I don't see them winning the rest of the series.
Mr. Desmond, what do you think about the rest of this series? Can they win 2 straight here very quickly?
Yeah, I do see them winning the next 2 games here. The momentum they have after last night's game, beating the Senators 4-2, it's just going to go on to the next game as well. Look for a home sweep at Ottawa, and they'll finish up the game here in Mellon Arena.
Mr. Cooney, 2 more and out, or what are we going to see, a little bit longer series?
I think 2 and out is it. I think we saw the best from Ottawa last game. Did you see the frustration level from all the players? Alfredson jumping Orpik in the corner there. They lost it. They have no. They're losing the system of Corey Clouston and not getting back to their game. And when the Penguins are exposing that, they should run away with this game. We saw in Game 2, they just absolutely dominate them. They keep that play up, the Penguins will walk away with this in 2 games.
This hasn't been a series that has had no problems for the Penguins, though. So, John, I'm going to go back to you. Right. What has been the Penguins' biggest problem, and how are they going to address it?
Honestly, what I've seen out of the Penguins so far in terms of their biggest problem is it just seems that they're not always on the same page with one another. The one thing, because I was lucky enough to be at Game 2, for example, and the one thing that I noticed, the one thing that I noticed was that there were a lot of missed passes, a lot of passes that just weren't necessarily getting intercepted by players, but were just completely, few and far between for making it to the person they were trying to pass to. And then I also noticed in that particular game, wasn't necessarily a problem on Sunday, but really little was on Sunday. There were a lot of fan shots. It just seemed like the Pens aren't clicking like the Penguins should be. And so, not to reiterate my point, but I think that playing the Senators allows the Penguins to find that rhythm that they're going to need in the next couple of rounds.
Matt, biggest problem for the Pens?
Well, you saw in Game 1, they were not guarding the shooters. They were out there on free ice, and they were making flurries de hell out there. And you got to look for the defenders to get there and then make some hard shots out there. So they picked that up in Game 2. Look for them to rebound, and they've been doing that thus far, so look for that.
Biggest problem that you've seen, Mr. Cooney, thus far?
It's a good point on the defensive there by Mr. Desmond, but also you got to look at the winger. I think the play of the wingers, we already know down the middle, Penguins are probably the best team in the NHL. Crosby, Malkin, Stahl, Fleury. But the wings, where have they been? I haven't seen number 23 in black since yesterday, since we got him. Ponikarovsky really needs to show up, and it's about time. And I think the wings really got to step up their game if the Penguins want to move on.
So the Pens are leading the series 2-1. There's a bunch of other series out there. John, I want to know, what is the biggest series that is catching your eye thus far? There's 3 games tonight. 2 of them are already in progress. What is the series that is most intriguing to you?
Honestly, the one that's most intriguing to me so far has to be Phoenix and Detroit. I think that Phoenix, going into it, I thought there was no way that Phoenix was going to get past Detroit, but I really think that Phoenix has an unbelievable chance to beat up Detroit. They've been pounding them every single night. They've been getting chance after chance and capitalizing on these things. They won last night. They have a 2-1 lead on the series. They won at Joe Louis Arena, which is an extremely hard thing to do in the playoffs, and I really think that the Wings are I don't want to say down and out quite yet, but they're very battered and bruised early on in the playoffs, which they're not used to.
Matt?
You got to look at the San Jose and Colorado matchup. San Jose has been out shooting the Avalanche. I believe it's 139 to 38 shots. And look at the series, and the Avalanche are still up 2-1. So you got to find out it's quite amazing.
Aaron?
Well, I think there's 2 series you guys should look at. Looking at LA Kings and the Vancouver Canucks. People have been drawing comparisons to the LA Kings this year, the Penguins of 06-07, coming in, strong season. They got a lot of young guys, a lot of solid role players. Picked up Rob Scuderi and a couple of great trade deadline acquisitions with Freddie Modine. And they really given Vancouver a run for their money. And I really think with Vancouver losing 3 of their top defensemen before the playoffs even started, and also Luongo's been shaky since the Olympic break, I think the LA Kings might upset the Vancouver Canucks. Heavily favored Vancouver.